Hello everyone, this is Noor and welcome back to my channel. Today's video, I'm just so excited about this because I get requested all the time to create an easy do-it-yourself bridal look, and this is my ultimate favorite bridal look to create. I feel like it really enhances the eyes. You also get a beautiful glow within without making the face look too caked up or too overwhelming. Overall, this is my ultimate favorite easy to do makeup look, and I'm here to show you guys how to do it step by step. Before I go ahead and dive into this makeup tutorial, if you're new here to my channel, thank you so much for stopping by and watching this video. If you are new here to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to get notified every time I upload a new video. And I would love to have you guys a part of the Light family that I have here on my channel. So if you guys would like to learn how to create this beautiful, easy, glowy bridal look, please keep on watching. Alrighty guys, let's get started. I have a lot to do. I'm doing a whole get ready with me video. First, this video right here, it is going to be the makeup tutorial, and then as you guys can see, my hair is wet because I have another video that I'm filming for my hair because I'm trying out some new hair tools that I got sent, so I kind of want to do kind of like a get ready with me. Today, I get requested a lot of times to do a simple do-it-yourself bridal makeup look, and I think today would be perfect. I do have an event today that I want my makeup to look light, fresh, breathable, but yet a little bit of glam, but not too much. I feel nowadays brides really love the natural glow, kind of like a no makeup kind of vibe, and I'm here to show you that. I still want to showcase a elegant wedding look without making it look too much. You're gonna see how it is. I do a lot of brides, and I feel like I always understand when the bride tells me I want something glam but not too much, and I want to look different but I still want to look myself. I get that a lot. So I'm here to kind of like showcase to you guys the perfect, easy, soft bridal look, and I just hope you guys enjoy it. For a bridal look, your first main focus is to make sure your makeup looks good all day and all night. Now, there is a lot of people that would like to have touch-ups when it comes to the night time, which is completely understandable. I think it's something that is important to kind of just touch up your makeup before you show up in the hall and show up to your friends and family to see you. But when you're in the daytime, you're probably out and about. If you have a church venue, then you're going to the church, then you're going to take pictures and everything, so you're up and about, you're always doing something, especially if the weather is hot, summertime. You need to make sure that your makeup stays on very well. Again, when I come to my brides, I always ask them, how is your skin? And they tell me whether it's oily combination or dry. I kind of base my products from there. So in my case, I do have kind of like an oily to dry skin, kind of like a combination. So I'm here to show you guys two of my favorite products that I've been using, and obviously I've been using these for a while. You guys have seen them in my videos multiple times. So the first one I'm using, it is my Embryolisse. This is kind of like a makeup base moisturizer cream kind of, and I love it. And then I also use the Huda Beauty Easy Blur because I just feel like this helps to keep my face matte but also smooth from all the pores and stuff. So this one here has been my all-time favorite. If you are looking for a mattifying primer to really mattify everything, you can use the one size. I know they have multiple. I like the one more in the kind of like a metal packaging. I'll leave the picture of it here somewhere. That one is very good. I've used this one. I feel like it does work, but I prefer the other one a little bit more. This one here is the oil sucker, which I normally just like to use this on my nose a little bit. The one thing about this is that you want to make sure that you blend it very fast. Sorry about the background noise. I live in an area that is just filled with sports car and people like to vroom vroom everywhere. Summer vibes, you know? Let me start off with the moisturizer, and I like to take a little blob of this and put that on my face. So I like to take a little bit of that and put that all over my face. Then I like to take my Huda Beauty Easy Blur Primer, and I also take a little bit of that and I like to concentrate it around my nose area and around my lip area and a little bit right here, because I do have a little bit pores here and I just like to also somewhat mattify that area as well. And then I like to work this with my fingers, just heat it up a little bit, and then I pat it on to my face. The ideal deal here is to make sure that you have the proper primers for your day. Of course, you know your skin more than anybody else, and you just kind of base your products to your skin type, and then honestly you're just set from there. Obviously there's more stuff that you're gonna see in this video, but the main products to have is definitely having a good base before you start off with your makeup. Talking about the makeup, let's start off with it. If you are someone with dark circles under your eyes, I would highly recommend that you have some sort of a corrector that will help to just illuminate a little bit under your eyes. This one here has been my all-time favorite. I'm personally not sleeping so well. I am lacking a little bit of sleep because of stress and life in general, and this one here has been really helped me a lot to just look a little bit better and not look like I am tired. So this one here, it is the Huda Beauty, and this is the Faux Filter Corrector. The one I like to use, it is pink pomelo, but honestly they have a lot of colors for everybody out there. I would highly recommend that you do go to the store and try out the shade that works best for you. I like to take this, I also like to put that under my eyes, but I also have a little bit of a sun spot right here that likes to show up in the summertime on my face, and trust me, it's been something that I've been not liking, and I'm trying to get rid of it naturally on my own. Somewhat working, somewhat is not, but we want to hide it out, so I am just gonna go put some of this magic stuff on it so it can just camouflage it a little bit for me. I'm also gonna drag a little bit of that here just because I'm literally not sleeping and I do have really bad dark circles. Now I like to have that set a little bit, so to help me set it a little bit faster, I like to use a little fan. This one was a gift from Huda Beauty, so I like to use this and just let it sit a little bit. Then I like to go ahead and take my sponge and blend that out. But I also like to keep a light hand when it comes to blending it out. I don't want to smear it up. I'm just gonna bounce my sponge on it like this so I can just have the product kind of sit on my skin. I feel like it kind of works better when you do that. So you can see right away, it just instantly illuminates under the eyes, and I absolutely love this corrector. I know foundation could be a very picky product to a lot of people, and trust me, I know, I don't blame you if you have that kind of like a feeling of like, what foundation do I trust for my wedding day? There is a couple out there. I'm here to tell you guys my all-time favorites. My all-time favorite that I always use on my brides and my clients is the Dior Backstage. I'll leave a picture of it here or here so you guys could see it. The Dior Backstage foundation, it is ideal for anybody that wants a natural look, not too much cakey on the face. It covers up with a light finish, which not making the face look super overwhelmed with makeup or you feel so caked up. The Backstage one from Dior is my all-time favorite. It has such a beautiful lightweight, but it also has a beautiful coverage without making you look too cakey. My two all-time favorite this summer is definitely these two right here. Today I'm gonna go ahead and use the Huda Beauty Easy Blur foundation because I'm just obsessed with this. You also have the Urban Decay. This is the Face Bond foundation. I also really like the coverage of this. It has a really nice coverage, very lightweight, and not making the skin look too cakey. Same thing to the Easy Blur. If you are looking for something that is not too much and it's gonna help to kind of like blur out your face as well, this one is definitely the one that I would recommend. I absolutely love it, and you can never go wrong with Huda Beauty products in general. Just an FYI, I'm not saying that because I want to say it. I am saying it because her stuff work, and if you're looking something that works, Huda Beauty's is all the way up there for me. Trust and believe. So me saying that, I'm gonna go ahead and take the Huda Beauty Easy Blur, and we're gonna put that on the face. The shade that I'm using, it is shade Latte, because your girl is nice and tanned now. I love summer and I love being tanned. And I'm just gonna blob this on my face. To be honest, there isn't really a specific way to put this. I just like to put it like that, and then I'll blend it off with my sponge. I know it looks like too much, but trust me, when you blend this out, it just blends so smoothly into your skin without making your skin look too cakey. So for this, I'm gonna take my sponge. Also, if you want to use a brush and you are more familiar with the brush, go ahead and use a brush. I like to use a sponge because I got used to it personally, but when it comes to my clients, I always use brushes. I never use sponges for some reason. I just prefer using a brush. I feel like I have more control to where I want to spread the product on my client's face and not just have it like pressed on there. But on myself, I just like to go ahead and use a sponge. If you guys are looking for a good brush to blend out your foundation, this one here from Huda Beauty is definitely the one that you need. This one here, it is the face brush, and there is no number to it, but it's just the face base brush. So if you're looking for one, this is the one I like. Now we're just gonna go ahead and blend this foundation out, and this just blends super nicely into the skin, and it gives you a nice glow as well without making your face look too glowy. It's kind of like in between, which I really like. Again, with this type of foundation, if you feel like you want to add a little bit more for coverage, you can definitely go ahead and do that. It's not going to cake up the skin whatsoever. In my case, I just like to have a one layer base when it comes to bridal look, just because you're gonna put concealer and then you're gonna contour and everything. So I feel with all of that, it's gonna help to camouflage a little bit the imperfections. Overall, this foundation itself, it just sits very, very nicely on the skin. Again, I have a sunspot right here, and this gives you a great example of kind of like a light coverage with not too much. To be honest, for me per se, it doesn't bother me. I always find a way to camouflage it in a different way, just because I don't want to add too much to my skin. But if you feel like this is something that you want to cover up a little bit more, then just consider in your head is maybe having a higher coverage of corrector, maybe using a little bit more of an orange tone than on the peachy tone, having a little bit more coverage of foundation. But again, you also want to make sure that you don't overdo it, because it might look cakey, it might look like you have too much makeup on. The other option is to maybe use a concealer that has a slightly more coverage. So you can kind of play around with it, find the products that works best for you. In my case, again, like since I'm doing my own makeup here, I like to keep the face looking nice and natural as much as possible, because this will look different once you're done at the end. Next, I like to go ahead, conceal and highlight. I like to go ahead and use my Huda Beauty. This is the Faux Filter Luminous Matte Concealer, and the shade that I like to use right now, it is called Cotton Candy. So I like to take this and put that under my eyes, also here, a little bit on the cupid's bow. These are the areas that I like to highlight a little bit on my face. I will go ahead and use the fan again, just because I like to set this product as well before blending it out. Then I take my sponge and I blend it all out. Now this is nicely concealed and highlighted. My sunspot is not showing as much anymore. Therefore, that's why I was saying is that wait before you add more. Maybe the next step that you're gonna do on your face might cover up what was bothering you. So trust the process when you're doing your makeup. As long as you have the good tools and the good products to use, you are good to go. Now comes to the more this is a subject that I have a lot of clients personally tell me they want it, and I have a lot of clients that personally don't want it because they are afraid to cake up their face with more products, which is completely understandable. But when it comes to your wedding day, you want to make sure that you have the proper application for it to show in the pictures, if you guys know what I mean. Contouring has two different terms. You have the cream contour and you also have the powder contour. I personally like to use both. When it comes to the powder contour, I call those bronzers, to be honest. And when it comes to cream contour, that is more the proper term to use for contour. So this is an option if you are debating whether you want to contour for your wedding day or not. Take it from a professional makeup artist, do a little bit of contour because it will really make a difference at the end. So I like to go ahead and use this one right here. It's actually a concealer, but I like to use it for contouring just because it has a light weight to it, which I personally really like. My top favorite one that I like to use on my clients, it is the Charlotte Tilbury, and it looks like this. This one here is more on the cream form, so you definitely need a brush with it. But I'm just obsessed with this product. I feel like it blends into the skin like butter, and it really gives a beautiful contoured look without making the face look too cakey. So if you're asking me to go a little bit more on a higher end, definitely go with the Charlotte Tilbury. But if you are a bride on a budget, you can go with this one, and I will leave the name of it in the description box down below. This is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser Multiple Usage Concealer. You probably know how it is. Sorry, mine is a little bit messy. The only thing with this is that it does get messy, and they also have it for concealing. If you want it in lighter shades to conceal, it works very well as well. So I like to use this. This is my shade 146 that I just like to use that to contour, and I put a few drops of it on my face like this. And I always like to contour upwards and not bringing it downwards because we want the face to look lifted and up. And I also like to put a little bit around my temples area, and then I do my nose contour with this as well, just like this. And I also put a little bit on the top here. I know I highlighted, but I like to do this as well. I like to highlight and contour my upper lip because I just feel like it gives a nice plumped look at the end. So that's just my personal take. So yeah, now I take my favorite brush. This is from Jess Up. I actually do have a discount with Jess Up, which is great, especially because if you are planning to do your own makeup, you need to have the proper tools. I love Jess Up. I feel like they have the best tools, and you can get yourself a little kit like this one right here for not too expensive, and you have everything that you need in that. You have face brushes, eye brushes, that's all you need. Okay, so I'm gonna take this one right here. This is the F01, and I like to take the smaller part of this brush, and then I like to go ahead and blend everything out with this. So to blend it out, I again use just tapping motion like this, and I work the brush in circular motions just to make sure that this is blended into my skin and not have harsh lines. So I just take that and I blend it like this all around, and then I take my sponge a little bit and I just go under so it could blend better within the face. Two blushes. Now this is a personal choice. There's a lot of clients that want to have a pink blush. There's a lot of clients that want to have a peachy one. Some clients also want to go more brownsy tone, which I personally like the most. I like a peachy brownsy look just because it's going to help to kind of like browns up the face a little bit. You can go pink if you want. There's nothing wrong with it. I feel pink shades are absolutely stunning, but I personally like the brownsy peachy tones because I just feel like they sculpt the face a little bit more. I like to go ahead and put some cream blushes. Now these has been my all-time favorite. These are the Huda Beauty blush filters, and they have them in so many colors. They have peachy ones, they have pink ones. I would highly recommend that you check out the different shades that they have. I'll show you a couple that I like. So this one here is called Coco Loco, which I personally like to put on the high notes just to kind of contour a little bit more and just to kind of chisel up the face a little bit more. I know it looks intense, but once you blend it out, it's very, very light. And then I also love Latte. Latte is a nice kind of like a also like a bronzy kind of shade, which I really like. When it comes to the pinky tones, I really like Bubblegum a lot because it's a soft pink, and also Strawberry Cream is also one of my favorites. I feel like this one is such a beautiful bridal one. Strawberry Cream is what I would recommend if you want more on a pinky tone, and if you want to go more on a peachy tone, you have Sunset Lychee, which I personally like to mix with Latte a little bit, just to kind of like bring up the peachy a little bit more. So yeah, these are the ones that I would recommend when it comes to like more bridal cream blushes. Today I'm just gonna go ahead and choose my favorite ones, because when it comes to like a bridal look, I always like to choose my favorites. That's just me. I'm gonna go ahead and blend that out before it dries up. So this is kind of like a trick to see, oh my god, is it too dark? It's a good way to just apply a little bit of it and blend it out. What I mean by it's light when you blend it out, and I feel like it is absolutely stunning. It just gives you that nice blushed look without making the face look too blushed, if that makes any sense. And now I just took a little bit of Latte and I put it right here, and I'm gonna blend that out. Again, using the same brush. This one, it is also from Dress Up, and this is the F02, and it also has two sides to it. So I like to take the smaller size to help me blend the blush. And I take whatever I have left on the brush, and I like to put that on my nose. I wish you guys could see how the face is looking in real life. Like when you come close to me, it looks like my skin, and it doesn't look caked up whatsoever. My skin still feels very light. It's breathing still without overwhelming the face with too much product. Moving on to my favorite product, I use this on myself, and I also use it on my clients for all my brides. This helps to set everything in place without having anything move, and this is my all-time favorite product that is out there in the makeup world. This is the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Powder. I use Pound Cake, but again, they come in so many shades that you can choose whatever works with you. This one is my all-time favorite, and I personally like to use it with a sponge, but again, you can still use it with a brush. It also has a very efficient application as well. So I take it with my sponge and I put that under my eyes, and I press it into my skin. And I also like to put it in between my eyebrows right here and around. Whew, I just got it, a whole whiff of that up my nose. It smells good though. And I also like to put that around my lip area, because my smile lines, that's where I tend to crease the most. So I want to make sure that that is nicely set there. So this powder is really good to set where you normally crease the most, which is very common under the eyes and around the lip area. And also if you're somebody that frowns a lot, then go ahead and put it on your forehead as well. And I also like to take a lightweight powder. This is very, very, very lightweight. I love this one. This is from Lancome, and this is the Dual Finish powder. I like to take a little bit of that and just lightly set the rest of the face with this, and not over packing that product onto the brush. So I just take a little bit of that and I just kind of go everywhere with this. Before I go ahead and jump into the eyebrows, I like to go ahead and set the face. This is the All Nighter from Urban Decay, and I like to spray that, and then I also like to have it set and dry before moving on to the eyebrows. So I'm gonna take the fan to dry it off. Again, this relates back to what I said earlier. The primers that you use has a huge impact to your makeup, so this is one of them that you will keep applying. I actually have another one that I've been loving that I'm gonna use at the end when everything is done. Eyebrows. This is a personal choice again. Eyebrows are always different, and at the end of the day, you're gonna do your eyebrows the way you like them. Now, when it comes to my clients, I always ask if there is a specific way that they do their eyebrows. Most of them, they say no. Some of them, they are quite picky. They like to have a really like straight line in the front and all of that. Now I feel like what people are really liking the most, it is the feathered brows, which I personally like that as well. I feel like it's just more natural. So what I like to do first is I like to take a clear brow gel, and this is just gonna help to brush the eyebrows in place, set them in place, and remove any little powders that went on them when you were doing all the face makeup. So a clear brow gel, it is ideal. Now you can go ahead and use your favorite. My all-time favorite that I like, this is from Maybelline, and this is the Express Brow Sculpt Mascara. It is just a clear one, and I get this from Amazon. A trick is to also dry those in place. Then I take one that is a little bit darker. This one is gonna give a little bit more color to the brow. I love this one, but I just feel like I always need to take the axis off because it just puts a lot of product on your eyebrow. This one, it is the Maybelline Infallible Brow up to 24-hour wear, and the one I use is dark brown. So I zoomed you guys a little bit so you guys could see it. So I just take, you guys see what I mean? It just loads up so much product. And this one, I just like to put it in the middle of the brow. And for me to brush it out, you can use a clean spoolie, but I like to use this one, which is, mine is almost done, so that's why I keep it just for this purpose. This is also the Maybelline Express Brow Mascara, but this one, it is the deep brown version. So this one is pretty dried up, to be honest, but I just like the brush of it so I can just remove the excess that the Maybelline leaves behind. This on its own, as you guys could see, it just really brings the eyebrow back to shape, as you guys could see the difference here, and you can leave it like that if ever you want, but I personally like to use another product that you guys are gonna see in a second. Then I like to take the NYX, this is the Lift and Snatch Brow Tint pencil in espresso, and I just like to go ahead and draw little hairs to kind of like feather out the brows a little bit. I don't know why, I just really love this stuff and I feel like it works so well with me. But if you're new trying this, you might have a hard time, but give it time and you will get a hand of it. It's very easy to work with. I don't know if you guys could see, but you need to be careful, but this really gets a lot of product right here, so it might leak. So make sure that you have some sort of a wipe around so it doesn't get everywhere, if you guys could see. So it does get a bit messy, so you want to make sure that you don't get any of that on your face, because trust me, I've got it on my face multiple times. So I'm just gonna take this light hand and we're just gonna start flicking this into the brows, and this creates little hair strokes like so. I don't know if you guys could see, but this creates beautiful little hair strokes when you keep a light hand. And then when it comes to the tail, I personally just like to follow the shape that I naturally have. Easy breezy, doesn't take long, very easy to work with. Over here I have a little gap, so this really helps to fill it in without making it look too much. And I do have a scar right here that hair doesn't grow there anymore, so this helps me to create little hair strokes without making it look too fake. love this product because it really makes a whole difference. It makes the eyebrows done within seconds, and that's what we need. I'm gonna go ahead and do one eye off camera, and I'll be back to show you guys how to do the other eye. And this is a look that I love so much for brides, so I'm really excited to show you how to create it. So let me go ahead and do it on one eye, and I'll be back to show you how it's done on the other eye. So this is my favorite bridal eye makeup to create. I feel like it brightens up the eye without making it look way too intense, but also it lifts up the eye a little bit. Now I decided not to go with a winged liner, but if ever you want to go with the wing liner, you can definitely go ahead and do that. But to be honest, this is soft, subtle, the perfect bridal eye that I personally love for brides. So let's go ahead and show you guys how I created this. You need to prime your eye. This one here has been my all-time favorite primer, and it is also the primer that I use on my clients. This is the Urban Decay Primer Potion, and I take a little bit of that and I put that on my eye like so, and then I take my finger and then I blend this everywhere, all out. You can use a brush, but I personally like to use my finger to blend it out. Next, if you are a bride on a budget and you want to buy eyeshadows or eye products, the ones that I would recommend for a bride, but also for everyday use as well, is the following. You definitely need a matte brown shade palette. As you guys can see, I hit pan on a lot of colors in this palette because this is my go-to palette. I love this stuff. It works so well, and it is the perfect palette to have for brides, but also for everyday basis because it's neutral shades and you can wear them literally every day. This is the Makeup by Mario Master Mattes eyeshadow palette, and it looks like this. Definitely need a new one. This is a must-have to have. You can never go wrong with this. Next, if you want to add a little bit more shimmer, as you guys can see on my eyes right here, we have beautiful shimmers. Shimmers are recommended for brides just because it really helps to illuminate your eye, but also they give such a beautiful finish in pictures. Now there's a lot of brides that want to go matte, and I have no issues with that, but I always tell them to add a little hint of shimmer because it really makes the whole difference. These two has been my all-time favorite that I also like to use on my brides. They're both from Urban Decay. This one here, it is their new Glaze On Liquid Shadows. This one here is in Space Boy Intense, which is amazing. You do need to have a cream or kind of like a liquidy form. I just feel like it really makes the shimmer pop. So this one here is definitely a color that I would recommend. It is beautiful. It has a nice champagne color to it, not too much. It is just very, 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 very pretty, and I absolutely love it. So it is what I have on the lid right here. And I also did top it a little bit with the Urban Decay Moon Dust. This is in Space Cowboy, and I topped this on top of this, and it creates this, and it is so beautiful. First color right here, I like to play with the neutrals first, so I grab this one and I grab a little bit of this. I go and I put that on the brow bone area, so I like to mix both. This is gonna help to illuminate under the brows, but it's also going to help me blend the crease colors as well. So I also like to bring that down. Again, this gives a really nice background look, as you guys can see right here, and I just love it. Next, I always like to work with background shades first and then go forward with darker tones. So I take, whoops, I take this shade right here, a little bit on a bigger, fluffier brush, and this is just gonna go and get concentrated in the crease area. One tip that I can recommend is, again, to have the best eye brushes slash tools, but also the best thing that I can also recommend is to go light on your brush and then slowly build up the color. Don't go crazy intense in there, because once it's on the eye, you're gonna have a really hard time blending it. But if you start off light with the light brush application, then it's gonna be easier for you to blend out your eyeshadow. So I place this in the crease, and then as you guys could see, I just go ahead and blend it back and forth using circular motions with my brush, and then I just keep doing that over and over, back and forth, back and forth. And then when I feel like I need more eyeshadow, that's when I'm gonna dip back in there. So I'm just gonna dip a little bit more, and then I'm just gonna go and concentrate that on the outer corners and then blend it all out. When it comes to the inner corners, you have options. I personally love to smoke out my inner corners, which is right here. But again, this is an option to see what works best with your eye shape. I feel like I have somewhat like an almond shape eye, and I do have a lot of space as well, so I have the ability to kind of blend out the eyeshadow as much as I want. But if you have small hooded eyes, then what I would recommend is that you concentrate the colors mainly more on the outer corners and try your best to lift the eye upwards. So instead of going down with it, go up with it, and this is gonna go and lift up the eye a little bit. Now with hooded eyes, I will probably do another tutorial talking about hooded eyes and how to do the makeup on hooded eyes. I know sometimes hooded eyes could be a little bit harder to work with, but there is actually a technique to make the eye look wider and more lifted up, than more like slouchy or like looking down a little bit. So you just need to blend the colors upwards more than downwards. So once I have the base on, this on its own just creates a beautiful base for me. Now I'm gonna take Space Boy Intense Glaze On Liquid Shadow from Urban Decay, and this is very pigmented, you guys, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put a beautiful layer of that in the middle of my eye. Then before that dries out, I'm gonna take a small little brush, and I am just going to start patting this. I'm placing it only on the lid area, so I want to concentrate this on the lid area. So I'm just gonna take that and press it down like so. This is a product that if you want to add more, you can definitely go ahead and add more, but on its own it's just really pretty. It gives a nice shimmer without making the eye look extremely glittery. Now, I know a lot of people think when you say shimmer, they think about glitter. It's two different things. It's not the same thing at all. I'm gonna take a little bit more of Space Boy Intense, and I am going to pat this on the lid area and just really concentrate it there and blend it, blend it, blend it. Now I'm gonna go ahead and take a darker brown, which is this one right here. As you guys can see, these are the colors that I dive into all the time because I just love them so much. And this one is gonna be taking with a smaller brush, and I'm gonna make sure that this is concentrated mainly more in the crease area. So the best thing to do this is to have a mirror with you like I do right here, and look down at it, and this is where you're gonna find your crease, and this is where you want to place this color, right into the crease. So you want to make sure that you create kind of like a window wiper motion, like back and forth like this, and just really concentrate this color onto the crease. And then when it comes to the outer corner, same thing, concentrated, and then back and forth motions to really have it concentrated there. And then I'm taking the first brush that I used, and I'm just gonna blend out the edges and going upwards with it as well. To help you blend out the edges, you can always take some sort of a lighter shade. I like to take this one, and then I go over very, very lightly on the edges to blend that out. Now I'm going to take a shade that is a bit darker, which is this one right here that I normally like to grab. I'm going to take a little bit, literally one dab of that with the brush, and then I go and I concentrate it more into the crease area. So I don't go crazy with it. I keep a light hand with it. And again, just really back and forth motions and concentrating that into the crease area. Now I'm gonna go ahead and take the Moon Dust. This is Space Cowboy. And I'm gonna take that with a brush. You can also take it with your fingers if ever you want. But I feel like I'm just gonna use a brush so I can have this product concentrated in the right spot. And this is just gonna go on top of Space Boy Intense Glaze On. And we're just gonna go and pat that in place. I'm gonna take a little bit of that darker brown, and we're just gonna go back and forth with that in the crease area to just have that concentrated there. Now I'm gonna take this brown right here, and I am going to drag this all over the lower lash line. Now I like a smoked out lower lash line, but again, this is something that is quite personal. So if you like a smoked out lash line, then you can go ahead and do that. If not, you can just really concentrate it very close to your lash line and not have it smoked out like the way I do it. So you probably would have to take a thinner brush, which looks like this right here. This is just gonna help you concentrate the shade more up here than down here. Now I'm just gonna take this shade, and this is just gonna help me go over everything and feather out all of that. Now I'm gonna go ahead and take the Urban Decay. This is the 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil. This is also waterproof, which is perfect for brides. I'm using a light shade, but you also could use different shades. They have them in white, in a light nude color, in browns, in black. They have them in so many colors. This one here is the one I chose for today, for today's look, and this is called Faux Dough. And I am going to concentrate this in the inner corners right here and blend it right away with my finger so I don't have that harsh line. And then I'm also taking that and putting that in my waterline. And this one is really pretty. It's kind of like a soft pinky peach kind of shade, which I really like. So I'm just gonna drag that in the inner corners. This is great to put in the inner corners if you want a little bit of a highlight and you don't want it to leak everywhere or bother you inside the eye. Definitely use a pencil. It's just gonna help to illuminate and make it last a little bit longer. Now I'm gonna take a liquid liner, and you wanna make sure that you create the thinnest line and make sure that you have your eyeshadow palette not too far. So I'm going to be using, this is the NYX liner. This is the Epic Ink liner in black. And I really do like this one because it's also waterproof, which is great. So I go ahead and create the thinnest line with this on top of the lash line. Now, before that dries out, I'm gonna go ahead and act pretty quickly. I'm gonna be mixing these two browns together with a small little pencil brush, and I'm gonna lightly start dabbing this on top of the liner and then creating circular motions to blend that out. And then very close to the lash line as possible. It's okay if you smear it down here. It's easy to clean once it's dried out, so don't worry about that too much. And you just want to make sure that you have a nice blended look on the top part. And just go lightly with this, very close to the lash line, but don't go too intense because we still want to have it like smoked out a little bit. Right here, I'm just gonna take a Q-tip and clean that black smear, which is easy to do. And then you can just take a little bit more of the eyeshadow and go over it and as if like nothing happened. I'm gonna go ahead and curl my lashes. So I'm just using a lash curler from MFMA. Now I'm gonna take some mascara and I'm just gonna put some mascara on my lashes. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Extra Gagger Mascara. For lashes, I know lashes could be a very picky choice to a lot of brides. I personally love lashes. I just feel like they change the whole eye. Now, if you're able to apply individual lashes on yourself, by all means, go ahead and do it. I personally like a strip lashes just because I find it easier to apply a strip than individuals. Now, if you have a hard time applying a strip lash, when I mean strip lash is something that is full like this, what I would recommend is that cut them in half and then stick them individually, because it's gonna make it easier for you. As for somebody who has been applying lashes for years now, I got a hang of it. But if you are new, just cut them in half and then apply them. The lashes that I would recommend, now these come in a pack of 5. I know you might think it's a lot, but to be honest, think about it in the best way possible, is that if you mess up one lash, you have other more to put on. So especially because if you're new and you don't know how to put lashes, you might mess them up, just an FYI. So having a pack for you to practice, it's pretty ideal if you ask me. Now these are from MFMA. I will leave their link in the description box down below, and I also have a discount that you guys could go ahead and use as well, so you can save a little bit of money. I also use MFMA lash glue, and as you guys saw me, I also use their lash curler. So these are kind of like my favorite must-haves. For lashes, they do have multiples. These are the 2 that I really like. The one I'm using today, these are the Pro Lash Light. If you are somebody that don't want it to be so long like so, then you have the Pro Lash Flare. The flare are a little bit more natural. They are the same length as your lashes, and you're just gonna add a little bit more volume. Now these I really like because they add a little bit of a length and a little bit of volume too, which I love. But you can go ahead, buy both, see which one works best with you, and then you can use that for your big day. Again, like I said, I do have a discount. You can save some money, get them. You have a lot to practice with. And also what is really handy, it is this lash glue. You don't have to wait till it gets tacky. It sticks on pretty quickly. It makes your life so much easier. And if ever you want to use, I think MFMA also has a lash applicator that you can purchase to help you put on the lashes. I personally just use tweezers, to be honest. So today I'm using the Pro Lash Light, and I'm gonna go and put a thin line of lash glue on them, just on the band. My trick with this, again, just like with the eyeshadow in the crease, is having a mirror, look down at it, place your lashes in the middle first, secure that in there, then stick the edges. And then you can take your real lashes and the fake ones and you can just squeeze them together. The glue will have kind of like a bluish tint to it. That's because it's still wet. When it dries off, it's gonna dry off clear, and then you can go over a little bit with your liner so it can blend better with everything else. Obviously the lashes, I forgot to mention, is that you do need to cut them to your size and not just go ahead and put them right this. I think this is the biggest mistake that a lot of people, I think, say no to lashes because they just don't fit correctly, which is obviously the main cause for people hating lashes, just because they're not properly fit to your eye. So once you have them fit to your eye and cut to your eye shape, it's pretty easy to work with. They just make your life much easier. So I'm gonna wait till that dries a little bit. In the meantime, I'm just gonna go back with the brows and just kind of take away all the powder that came on them and just kind of like darken them up a little bit more. I'm gonna take my liquid liner. This time I'm using a thinner one. This is from Judy Doll, and I'm just gonna go over the lash line and just cover up lash line with the liner. I'm gonna take a little bit of my Lancome powder again, and I'm just going to take that and just pat it under my eyes just to kind of take out any fallout that fell from the eyeshadow. Now this is another trick. I normally like to do my face first and then my eyes, but if ever you wanna go ahead and do eyes first and then face, feel free to do that. On my clients, that's what I normally do. I prefer doing eyes first and then the face, but it's all with options and what works best with you. I'm just gonna go ahead and apply mascara on the lower lashes just to really make the eyes pop, and I'm also gonna put some on the upper lashes as well. And I'm gonna take a little bit more of the Urban Decay pencil, and I'm just gonna go back with that and reapply a little bit more of that on the waterline. To the face, let's go ahead and chisel up this face and bring it back to life. I'm using the Too Faced Soleil bronzer. This is very sad, but I still have some and I need to finish it before I dig into my new one, which I do have. This is my favorite bronzer that I use all the time, so let's go ahead and do that. So this is what I kind of call it, bronzer, even though we did a little bit of contour, but we're gonna do a little bit more bronzer. So we're just gonna go take this and chisel up the face a little bit more. This is just gonna help sculpt the face and bring a little bit of warmth to the face, because your face kind of like washes out with the foundation, concealer, and all of that. So you kind of wanna bring back a little bit of a color and a little bit of life. And I'm also gonna go down here and chisel out the face also down here as well. And I'm gonna also grab that and put that on my nose. I like to concentrate this on the edges of my nose, just that kind of like browns up a little bit more. Then for blush, I've been really loving this. This is kind of like a mix of pinky slash peachy tone. Again, I did say I prefer more on the peachy tone, which is true, but sometimes if you want something in between both, then you have that. And I thought about why not showing you guys something kind of like in between. Now this looks a little bit more on a pinky side, but it does have a peachy tone to it. So I like to go ahead and grab this. This is from Urban Decay, and this is the Face Bond Blush Suede, and this is in Back Talk. So I'm just gonna grab a little bit of that with a brush, and we're gonna put that to blush out the face a little bit. This gives such a beautiful blush look without overwhelming the face so much. Now I'm gonna go ahead and also highlight. A highlight is an option. You can use any highlight that you want. This one here is actually a brand that I really like from Turkey, which doesn't really have a brand name to it, but you can use any highlight. If you have the Anastasia highlighters, they are amazing. My all-time favorite one from Anastasia, it is the Amazing one. So if you still have that one, go ahead and use it. But you can also use a highlighter as an eyeshadow. You can also use that on your face. A highlight is a highlight. It's just gonna give you a beautiful highlight without overwhelming the face so much. Look how beautiful this is. Love. I'm gonna go ahead and set the face. This is the one that I really like so much. This is the Easy Bake Setting Spray from Huda Beauty. I'm gonna shake mine. I think mine doesn't have the ball in it. I mean, I've seen Huda Beauty talk about it, that there's a ball that you need to shake, but mine doesn't have it. I can't hear it. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray that. And also, if you have the one size one, the Until Dawn, I believe it's called, that one is amazing. I highly recommend you to get that one as well and mix both together. So before I go ahead and do the lips, I'm gonna go ahead and do the video for the hair, and then I'll be back to do the lips for you guys. So if you guys want to see the hair tutorial slash the hair product review, check out the description box down below. The video will be right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back. Alright you guys, hair is done, but I'm just gonna go ahead and touch up a little bit my face. I'm gonna add a little bit more blush before we move on to the lips, because today I have really cool lip products that actually just came in, and I was like, oh my god, what a perfect moment to go ahead and try them on. I've been seeing them everywhere on my social media, and I'm just dying to try them. Are you guys ready to see what just came in the mail today, which I'm so freaking excited about? I finally got my PR box from Huda Beauty, and today, you guys, I am just, this just made my day. I am obsessed. So let's go ahead and show you guys these. I will probably do another video, like a full-on video swatching the colors for you guys and talking a little bit more about them. But you guys, this PR box though, I'm not sure exactly what I want to use. Oh yeah, I do actually. It's the mix right here. We're gonna go ahead and try it out since it was recommended by Huda Beauty. So we have Juicy Peach and Toasty Brown. So Juicy Peach, I believe, is this one right here, which is the lip oil. And then we have Toasty. Why did I say Toasty? Toasty Brown. So it's not this one. Toasty Brown. These two right here. We're gonna go ahead and try these on. Thank you so much, Huda. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, I'm just gonna take the mirror out because I'm gonna be putting it in my purse. Okay, so we're gonna start off with Toasty Brown. I need to zoom you in on this because I've seen it all over my social media and I'm just obsessed. This is how this product looks like. Look at this. Love how sleek it is. And these are, by the way, waterproof. So you put them on, you wait till it dries off a little bit, and then you can go ahead and kind of like kiss away and they won't transfer through. And then you put the lip oil on top just to give them a little bit of a gloss. But you know what? I just thought about something. I'm gonna do a little mix. Soft nude. So this is the lip contour stain. So I'm gonna use Toasty Brown and Soft Nude. I'm gonna mix them together and then we're gonna put this on. This looks really cool in real life. I mean, again, I've seen them on social media, but seeing it in real life, it looks so cool. And the applicator kind of looks purple. So let's go ahead and do that. Sorry guys, I'm obsessed with these. Working with them is so fun. I'm just gonna blend it with my fingers. I'm gonna color the corners a little bit. Look at that. And I'm gonna add a little bit of the soft, what is it? Soft Nude. Then we're gonna go ahead and add the Jelly lip oil. So pretty. Ooh, so juicy. Smells so good. I also got it on my nose. Oh my god, look how beautiful this is. Alright you guys, this is the end of this tutorial. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Like always, all the products that I use on my face today are going to be listed in the description box down below. Make sure you go ahead and check it out because everything is going to be listed down there for you guys. Also, I have so many discount codes for you guys down below. If you check out the description, you can shop at different places. I have Jessup, I have MFMA, I have other websites down there. If you guys want to go ahead and shop, use my discount, save some money. And I also have a new one linked down below, which is the hair tool that I used as well. So that is going to be linked down below. Same thing with the video review as well. So that's going to be linked down below for you guys because look at this hair. I'm just obsessed. And if you are getting married this year, congratulations, all the best, and I really hope you found this video helpful if you're doing your own makeup for your big day. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, just leave them all in the comments down below and I'll try to answer each and one of you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching and I'll talk to you later. Bye.